Picture this. It's 1992. Fireworks are just absolutely lighting up the night sky over Melbourne, Australia. And right in the center of it all, there's this towering figure in a green cap, Imran Khan, lifting the World Cup trophy high into the air. And, in that exact moment, literally thousands of miles away on streets stretching from Karachi to Lahore to Peshawar, complete strangers are hugging each other like they've been best friends their whole lives. The atmosphere was just electric. It was this pure, unadulterated joy that united an entire country overnight. But here's the thing. It wasn't just a single victory. No, this was the absolute peak of an era where a cricket team transformed into something much, much bigger.
So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly special, the Green Giants, Pakistan cricket's golden era. And listen, we're not just going to do some standard, boring sports recap here. We are going to explore what is basically the mythological assembly of a legendary team. Because these guys, they weren't just athletes. They were absolute titans who completely commanded the pitch and, honestly, captured the imagination of an entire generation.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, A Nation Finds Its Game. Okay, so this game was originally inherited from the British, right? But it so quickly evolved into this incredible mirror of Pakistan's national identity, its immense pride, and just its undeniable passion. I mean, think about this. Pakistan was granted Test status in 1952. That is barely 5 years after they even became an independent nation. The early decades, they were full of promise, but yeah, there was a lot of struggle too. But underneath it all, the seeds of greatness were quietly being planted. And by the time we roll into the 1970s, boom, those seeds absolutely burst into bloom. You've got the arrival of young Imran Khan, fiercely competitive, armed with this rare, unwavering self-belief. Right around then, Zahir Abbas steps onto the scene. And then, jumping to 1976, this scrappy teenager from Karachi named Javed Miandad makes his debut, basically announcing to the world that he's a warrior who will fight until the very last ball.
Moving on to Section 2, the terrifying art of pace. Look, if there is one single thing that defined Pakistan cricket during this golden era, it was, without a doubt, terrifying fast bowling. And we're not just talking about raw speed here. Let's look at this devastating 1980s duo that literally became the gold standard of swing bowling for a whole generation. On one side, you've got Wasim Akram. The guy was absolute poetry in motion. Left arm super wristy, totally unpredictable. He could swing the ball both ways at will and bowl deliveries that, quite frankly, kind of defied the laws of physics. Then, on the other side, you've got his partner, Walker Younis. If Wasim was the poet, Walker was the right-arm thunderbolt, just violently uprooting stumps. Together, they routinely tore through the absolute finest batting lineups in the world like it was just another day at the office.
I mean, just put yourself in the batsman's shoes for a second. Imagine the sheer terror of standing there and Walker Younis is hurling a reverse-swinging ball at you at 90 miles per hour. 90. That blistering speed didn't just get batsmen out, it literally broke stumps and, well, broke a lot of hearts along the way too. But wait, the story of pace definitely doesn't end there. Because then along came the Rawalpindi Express himself, Shoaib Akhtar. This guy was a sheer force of nature. He actually bowled the fastest delivery ever recorded in the entire history of cricket. And the thing about Shoaib Akhtar is that he wasn't just incredibly fast, he was a whole event. Imagine being in the stands. The second he started that ridiculously long run-up, the whole stadium would just collectively hold its breath. It was pure theater.
Section 3, elegance, grit, and spin.
Now you might be thinking it was all just about those terrifying fast bowlers, but actually, this golden era was also built on some legendary batsmen, guys with these unique superpowers who basically told epic stories with their bats. Let's rapid fire through them, shall we? First, Javed Miandad. He was the heartbeat of the team. Incredibly street smart, super calculating, just always finding a way to score. And we absolutely have to marvel at his legendary 1986 last ball 6 off Chetan Sharma in Sharjah to win against India. A literal game changer and one of the most celebrated moments in cricket history. Then you had Zahir Abbas, literally known as the Asian Bradman because his stroke play was just so silky and effortless. Then there's Inzamam ul Haq. He had this completely unhurried footwork and a heavy blade, just a master at playing massive innings when the pressure was at its absolute peak. And of course, Saeed Anwar. So graceful, wristy, achingly beautiful to watch, and the man who still holds the record for the highest individual ODI score for Pakistan.
Oh, and we definitely can't forget the spin. While the fast bowlers were hogging all the front-page headlines, Pakistan was quietly brewing up some absolute world-class spin magic. Take Abdul Qadir. He is arguably the greatest leg spinner of the pre-Warren era. His delivery was pure theatrical flair. It was like a 3-step masterclass. Step 1, loop the ball. Step 2, hide the googly. Step 3, visibly delight in the absolute confusion you just caused the batsman. It was masterful. And then later on, Mushtaq Ahmad picked up that exact sharp wrist spin legacy and just kept on troubling the very best batsmen in the world.
All right, Section 4, the 1992 World Cup Summit. So everything we've talked about so far, the blistering pace, the grit, the incredible flair, it all finally converged in Australia and New Zealand. But here's the wild part. Despite having all this insane talent, they actually arrived at the tournament as massive underdogs. So it begs the question, how does a team that's literally facing early elimination in the group stage manage to turn it all around and win the whole thing? Because they were right on the brink of packing their bags and going home early. The stakes seriously could not have been higher.
And, well, that is exactly when their captain stepped up. Imran Khan rallied his young, desperate side with words that have since been passed down with the gravity of an ancient myth. He told them to play like cornered tigers. And this wasn't just some standard locker room pep talk. It was a complete psychological reset. He essentially took their fear of elimination and transformed it into this dangerous, unrelenting aggression. And you know what? They went out and did exactly that.
The whole tournament led to this completely breathtaking climax in the final against England. Wasim Akram produced an absolutely stunning spell of fast bowling. Imran Khan batted with total, unshakable authority, and in the end, Pakistan won by exactly 22 runs. In that single second, an entire nation that had been anxiously holding its breath for weeks finally exhaled with explosive joy. But here is a really poignant detail about that moment. During the trophy presentation, Imran Khan didn't just talk about the cricket match. Instead, he dedicated this monumental, historic victory to the building of a cancer hospital in Pakistan. I think that perfectly highlights how, for him and for the team, this game was always intrinsically connected to a much, much bigger picture.
And finally, Section 5, a mythological sporting legacy.
You know, when you look back, this specific era of Pakistan cricket was defined by these really beautiful contradictions. It was equal parts brilliance and chaos, absolute genius paired with sheer unpredictability. It was never a safe bet, and it was certainly never boring. The legends of this era, they didn't just win cricket matches. They basically gave Pakistan a lasting mythology. These are stories that parents are still passionately telling their kids today. It's the kind of stuff that brings a lump to the throat of anyone who really loves the game. But most importantly, it was undeniable proof of exactly what the Pakistani people are capable of achieving when they stand united.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought to ponder. How can a single sporting era define a nation's spirit long after the final ball is bowled? It's a pretty fascinating question, isn't it? It just goes to show that sometimes sports are so much more than just a game. They can literally be the heartbeat of a country's identity and legacy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.